We're in the kitchen, and as we travel to the UK, we're about to whip up a delicious batter of some fish and chips with a chef that started his career in the UK.
There is a classic mayonnaise that brings out the traditional French in 3 levels of tanginess. The mild classic, the medium classic, the strong classic. Tangy the way you love it.
Made with love by Clover.
And as we travel through the UK on your Feel Good Breakfast show, we learn more and more about their favorite cuisine, and fish and chips is the British staple enjoyed all over the world in various forms. And here in Mzanzi, we love it served with our delicious Clover Classic Mayo Tartar Sauce. And here to help take us through this delicious recipe is head chef at Greenhouse Restaurant, Farrell Hirsch, joining us in studio, and I'm very excited to get cracking in this.
Yeah, me too.
So when it comes to fish and chips, what's the best fish to use?
Personally, my most favorite fish is hake. I find it underrated and it's almost awesome.
Okay. Because I know here in Cape Town, of course, we love our snook, but we're going to use our hake. Do you prefer it fresh or frozen?
I like fresh hake. Fresh hake is awesome.
Okay. Now, the best thing about fish and chips is that crunchy batter, that skin, that extraness, that goodiness to it. So you're going to start us through with this recipe.
Perfect, will do. Okay, so it's fairly simple. To get that nice crispiness is a carbonated drink. So what you need to start with is flour, corn flour, salt, and then a carbonated drink. So this is alcohol-free beer.
Okay.
So what
Can you use alcoholic beer?
You can. Right now we can't. But
no.
Beer
Of course. There are restrictions.
Beer is really good. So it adds the yeast. It bubbles. It's really, really good. So what I would do is add all the ingredients together.
What is a substitute for non-alcoholic beer or alcoholic beer?
Soda water works perfectly.
Okay.
So that works perfect. Okay, so a pinch of salt. And then you're done there. And then I would go...
There we go. You know what I quite like about this is I read up a little bit about fish and chips. As I see it was first served in 1860 together. And it's quite a combo. I mean, like, who thought of that? I think that was the big question. Now, are there various... You obviously started your career in the UK.
I didn't.
Did you eat a lot of fish and chips?
I did. There was a lot of things that you eat there, like scampi, fish and chips, Sunday roast. There's quite a staple that you get there.
There's quite a few staples. And then do they traditionally serve it with chips, or do some of them, like, zhuzh it up a bit?
It's normally chips and mushy peas. I mean, it's quite a... Mushy peas.
Mushy peas. There we go.
Okay, so the batter's done. You don't want it too runny. You still want it quite thick.
Like in terms of consistency, is
like
it like
a milkshake.
pancake? Like a milkshake.
You want a wimpy milkshake consistency.
Okay, fantastic. Now, I know we've also got to make a tartar sauce. I feel like fish and chips goes well with the tartar sauce. So can I get cracking on that?
Okay, that's perfect.
Okay.
So what you're going to need to do is chop up the capers. The gherkins are chopped for you, and then add a little teaspoon of the mustard, and you're good to go.
There we go. And of course, we are using our Clover Classic Mayo, and we're going with the tanginess, the mild #1. And what's great about the Clover Classic Mayo, it comes in 3 different tanginess. There is the mild, which is #1, the medium, which is #2, and strong, which is the #3. And it all depends on the tanginess that you need. Okay, so I'm chopping this up for us. How finely should I chop it?
I would go quite fine. You don't want to... It's a caper. It's quite salty.
That's quite salty. Okay, cool. I'll get cracking on that. And then when you do your batter, is that something you can prepare well in advance, or is it best to do it as you're about to whip up your fish?
It's best to do it just before the fish is served, because of this, the soda. You need the carbon.
Okay.
The carbon helps the crunchiness of the fish.
Okay, so it's not something you can prepare too far in advance?
No. Just before is perfect.
Okay. So what's the next step?
Next step, I'm going to portion up the fish, and then you're going to mix up all the ingredients, and then you sort it to go. And then I shall deep fry fish. So portion it up.
So I've got our capers. I'm adding some gherkins. That's already chopped up.
Perfect.
You said a little bit of mustard.
Like a teaspoon. Yes, perfect.
There we go. And now I just used our spoon that I was supposed to use for our mayo to add our tanginess. There we go. Go for it. Let me just quickly clean this up for us. I'm using... There we go. You know what? I'm not the best in the kitchen, but I know you are. So you're about to do the dipping of the fish.
I am indeed. So one important aspect of the fish, you don't want it too large. Once you've portioned your fish up, you want to lightly dust it in flour, just so it sticks into the batter, slowly into the oil, which I'll do shortly.
Okay. And then, so how big are you going to cut your fish?
About 100 grams.
Okay.
I wouldn't go too big. You can make it as big as you want. It really doesn't matter, but I would say about that big.
That's a nice bite size.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, listen, if you want to get your hands on this recipe, it is available on our website. That's expressoshow.com. You can treat the family to some delicious fish and chips. And as you can see, Chef Farrell is here. He's dipping the fish into a bit of flour and then into the batter. And then from the batter, it goes straight into our hot oil.
Okay, so what's key with this is do not drop it in from a height. You do it quite slowly and then away from you. If the oil...
Is that how you check if the oil is ready?
There we go, this one's a good one. You go slowly in, let it catch a bit, and then
Look at those bubbles.
There we go.
That's what we want. Oh, fantastic.
Fry for about 4 minutes until golden brown. You can take it out onto this.
And then we are left with this. So, of course, is there a specific way to serve it?
Just like that, finish with lemon, and you are good to go.
I know. I miss the fact that they don't serve it in newspaper anymore. That was such a classic touch.
I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, I should get some newspaper in the morning and come wrap it up.
Well, there we go. Chef, thank you so much for joining us in studio to show us how to make this delicious fish and chips with our tangy Clover Classic Mayo tartar sauce. Now, if you've missed any of the steps to this recipe, we've got that recipe for you on our website, expressoshow.com, and a quick recap.
Made with love by Clover.